out of Egypt. Moses is saying, I'm just a regular guy, friend. I did some things out of love for this house, but I'm not any different from these people. Moses does not see himself any different from his brethren outside of the fact that he was raised in a particular environment. He's been exposed to environments that the masses just aren't privy to. He's seen the details of the goings on within Pharaoh's house. And it would be the character of those in Pharaoh's house that would allow Moses to have an exalted character of himself. I'm not sure that Moses could have been as great as he was if he would have grown up amongst the Hebrews. I don't know if he would have. I choose to think that Moses was exposed to a certain level of thinking because that type of thinking was pervasive amongst the elites that he was surrounded by in Pharaoh's house. He saw himself worthy. He didn't see me against them. Oh, they have the advantage over me and I'm powerless type of mentality. He didn't have that. Moses saw himself capable because he could see firsthand the differences and the commonalities between the Egyptian elite and himself. He was a Hebrew by blood, but he was raised in the Egyptian household. So he took on that mentality. And he's saying, I'm not any different than these people. But from the outside in, there's a huge divide between the Hebrews that lived in Goshen and the Egyptians that lived in Pharaoh's house. There were a huge divide. They didn't mingle enough to know that there were tremendous commonalities. They based their differences on economic levels. And that was a huge mistake. And it still is today. We have many in the world that live in what we call lower economic communities that look at those that are in a higher tax bracket or in a better zip code as having something more than what they have, which is just not true. In fact, those in the lower economic communities could be richer in spirit or richer in character or gifts, happiness than those in a higher tax bracket. So Moses asked God, who am I to come before Pharaoh? I don't know these people. I'm telling you, how do I convey this in a way where it really lands? It's kind of like being at a job and you get your C-level executives, your VPs and directors, even managers at some level that come in to maybe people that work in a warehouse. And they select one person that works the machinery in the warehouse to go amongst the C-level executives and speak for all of the other machine operators, people that bag the items, people that pick and pull, the masses. And you got to find the right person because everyone is not going to sign up to do that. The majority of the people that work those jobs, picking and pulling, packing, working machinery, they're not going to see themselves worthy to go before the executive level, even management, and have conversations about the goings on at their level. It's the same way with Moses. Moses knows Pharaoh's house. But the only difference with Moses is that Moses has had an experience. He stood up for the underdog. And they've hunted Moses. They have a reason to be on the lookout for Moses because of an activity that Moses did. It was righteous. He was righteous in his activity, but he still did a thing. And so God is coming to Moses and saying that I want you to go, verse 10, come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my children, my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses is saying, what? Who am I to go before Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh anything, friend? I know more than anybody the dynamics that go on in Egypt. They're not going to listen to me. He doubts himself. He does not take in the totality of his walk. He's not gotten to a place in his life where he actually sees all that he's done and groups it together and labels it monumental. He's knee deep in the trenches with it. He's going from one situation to the next, like many of us do. Many of you have gone through much in your life, playing by the rules, sometimes bending and cutting corners when you can justify them, but never going too far. Yet you've not taken in the totality of your walk. You don't give yourself enough credit. Yet at times it takes other people that are privy to your walk to come upon you and say, you know what, you are so great. I don't tell you how great you are, but you are great and you've really impacted my life. You would never think someone would feel that way about you. You would never take into consideration the totality of your walk and how it has helped someone else. Yet God comes to Moses in a thought, a vision, something that looks perplexing, strangeness. That's how God moves, y'all. When God comes upon you, it is strange. And it will capture and keep your attention. You will lock in. And in this attentive place, they're having dialogue, mental, all thought. Moses is locked into a thought.